Please stay tuned. సాయిరామ్. మరికొద్దిసేపట్లో ప్రశాంతి నిలయంలోని సాయి కుల్వంత్ సభామండపం నుండి ప్రత్యక్ష ప్రసారాలను మీరు వింటారు. దయచేసి వేచి ఉండండి.
श्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोदिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवदो गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोदरिषवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुत ते नमः या धरिषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूव ते धनुः शिवा शरव्याया तव तया नो रुद्रमृडया या ते रुद्र शिवा धनुरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुभाषन्तमया गिरिशन्धाभिचाकशीः यामिषुं गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्ष्यस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छावदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत् अध्यवोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्योऽभिषग अहेगश्च सर्वा आञ्जम्भयन् सर्वा आश्च यातु धान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उद बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये क्षेमागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षु श्रिता सहस्रशो वैशागुं हेडयीमहे असव्यो सर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उदैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उदैनौ विश्वा भूतानि सदृष्टो मृडयादिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीढुषे अधो ये अस्य सत्त्वानो हन्तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्जधन्वनस्त्वमुभयोराग्नियोर्जाम् याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवदत्यधनुस्त्वगुं सहस्राक्षशतेषु धे निशीरशल्यानां मुखा शिवो नः सुमना भवा विद्यं धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उता अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः या ते हेतर्मीढुष्टमहस्ते बभूव ते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुजा नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नातताय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्त्व विश्वतः अथो य इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निधेहितम् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिगाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः नमो हिरण्यबाहवे सेनान्ये दिशां च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्जराय तुषीमते पथीनां पतये नमो नमो बभ्लुषाय विव्याधिने नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्यै जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तदाविने क्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्त्याय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्थपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्कृताय औषधीनां पतये नमो नमः उच्चैर्घोषाय क्रन्दयते पत्तीनां पतये नमो नमः कृष्णवीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः नमः सहमानाय निर्व्याधिन आव्याधिनीनां पतये नमो नमः ककुभाय निषङ्गिणे सेनानां पतये नमो नमो निषङ्गिण इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते सायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेलवे परिचरायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमः श्रीकाविभ्यो जिघागं सद्भ्यो उष्णतां पतये नमो नमो शिवद्भ्यो नक्तञ्जरभ्यः प्रकृन्दानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीषिणे गिरिचराय कुरुञ्जानां पतये नमो नमः इषुमद्भ्यो धन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयच्छद्भ्यो विसृजद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमोऽस्यद्भ्यो विद्यद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वपद्भ्यो जागद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः तिष्ठद्भ्यो धावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो श्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नम आव्याधिनीभ्यो विविद्यन्तेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगणाभ्यस्त्रगं हरेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्रेभ्यः सङ्ग्रहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः तक्षद्भ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मालेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषुकृद्भ्यो धन्वकृद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यश्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः श्वभ्यश्वपदिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च व्युक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च शतधन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च शिपिविष्टाय च नमो मीढुष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृध्वने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशवे चाजिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीभ्याय च नमः ऊर्ण्याय च वस्वन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च पगल्भाय च नमो जघन्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमः सोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय च वसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेणाय चाशुरथाय च नमः शूराय चावभिन्दते च नमो वर्मिणे च वरोधिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो कृष्णवे च प्रमृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निशङ्गिणे चेषु धिमते च नमः तीक्ष्णेशवे चायुधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पथ्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सोद्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च वट्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईद्रियाय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वासव्याय च वास्तुपाय च हर 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 ॐ नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमः ताम्राय च रुणाय च नमः शङ्गाय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमः तीर्थ्याय च कोल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोत्तरणाय च नमः आराध्याय च लाध्याय च नमः षष्ट्याय च भेन्याय च नमः श्रीगत्याय च प्रवाह्याय च नमः इरिण्याय च प्रबध्याय च नमः किगुंशिलाय च क्षयणाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्ठ्याय च गृह्याय च नमः स्तल्प्याय च गेह्याय च नमः काट्याय च गह्वरेष्ठाय च नमो हृदयाय च निवेश्याय च नमः पागुंसव्याय च रजस्याय च नमः शुष्क्याय च हरित्याय च नमो लोप्याय चोलप्याय च नमः ऊर्व्याय च सूर्याय च नमः पर्ण्याय च पर्णशद्याय च नमो पगुरमाणाय चाभिघ्नते च नमः आखिलते च प्रखिदते च नमो वक्किरिकेभ्यो देवानागुमृतयेभ्यो नमो विक्षीणकेभ्यो नमो विचिन्वत्केभ्यो नम आनिर्हतेभ्यो नम आमीवत्केभ्यः द्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्रन्नीललोहिता येषाम् पुरुषाणाम् येषाम् पशूनाम् माभिर्मा रोमो येषाम् किञ्चनाममत् या ते रुद्र शिवा तनो शिवा विश्वाह भेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी तया नो मृड जीवसे इमागं रुद्राय तवसेकवर्धिने शयद्वीराय प्रभरामहे मतिम् यथा नः शमसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरम् मृडानो रुद्रोतनो मयस्कृति क्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्छञ्चयोष्टमनुराय चेपिता ततश्याम तव रुद्र प्रणीतौ मानो महान्तमुदमानो अर्भकम् मान उक्षन्तमुदमान उक्षितम् मानो वधीः पितरम् मोद मातरम् प्रियामानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीर्षः मानस्तोकेतनये मान आयुषि मानो गोषु मानो अश्वेषुरीर्षः वीरान् मानो रुद्रभामितो वधेरविष्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते आराते गोघ्न उत पूरुषग्ने क्षयद्वीराय सुम्नमस्मेते अस्तु रक्षा जनो अधिजदेव ब्रूह्यथा जनः शर्म यच्छद्विबर्हाः स्तुहि स्मृतं कर्तसदयुवानम् मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम् मृडा चरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निव बन्धुसेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतर्वृणक्तु परित्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरघायोः अवस्थिरा मगवद्भ्यस्तनुष्वमीढ्वस्तोकाय तनयाय मृडया मीढुष्टम शिवतम शिवो नः सुमना भव परमे वृक्ष आयुधन् निधाय कृत्यं वसान आचर पिनागम् बिभ्रदागहि विगिरित विलोहित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यासे सहस्रगम् हेतयोऽन्यमस्मन्निव बन्धुताः सहस्राणि सहस्रधा बाहुवोस्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो भगवः पराचीना मुखाकृति सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्राधिभूम्याः तेषागुम् सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि अस्मिन् महत्यर्णवेन्दरिक्षे भवाधि नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठाः शर्वादः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठादिवगम् रुद्रा उपश्रिताः ये वृक्षेषु तस्मिञ्चरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासः कपर्दिनः ये अन्येषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान् ये पथाम् पतिरक्षय ऐलभृतायव्युतः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति श्रिकावन्तो निशङ्किणः य एतावन्तश्च भूयागंसश्च दिशो रुद्राविदस्थिरे तेषागम् सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्याङ्गे तरिक्षे ये दिवि येषामन्नौ वातो वर्षमिषभस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचीर्दश दक्षिणा दश प्रतीचीर्दशोतेजेर्दशोर्ध्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृडयन्तु तेयम् दुष्मो यश्च नो द्वेष्टितम् वोजम्भे दधामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिम् पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नव्यो अप्सुय ओषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवना विवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु ये ते सहस्रमयुतम् पाशा मृत्यो मर्त्याय हन्तवे तान्यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वानवयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा प्राणानाम् ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्येनाप्यायस्व नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि तमुष्टुहि यस्विषु सुधन्वायो विश्वस्य क्षयति भेषजस्य यक्ष्वा महेशौ मनसाय रुद्रन्नमोऽभिर्देवमसुरन्दुवस्य अयम् मे हस्तो भगवान् अयम् मे भगवत्तरः अयम् मे विश्वभेषजो यगुम् शिवाभिमर्शनः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः शञ्च मे मयश्च मे प्रियञ्च मे नुकामश्च मे कामश्च मे सौमनसश्च मे भद्रञ्च मे श्रेयश्च मे वस्यश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणञ्च मे यन्ता च मे धर्ता च मे क्षेमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वञ्च मे महश्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रञ्च मे सूश्च मे प्रसूश्च मे सीरञ्च मे लयश्च मरुतञ्च मे मृतञ्च मे यक्ष्मञ्च मे नामयच्च मे जीवातुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वञ्च मे नमित्रञ्च मे भयञ्च मे सुखञ्च मे शयनञ्च मे सूषा च मे सुदिनञ्च मे स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहेषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Offering my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of my Lord Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Revered elders, brothers and sisters, my loving Sai Ram with pranams to one and all. Wishing all a very happy and a holy Vishu and New Year Day today. Kerala has a special place in the divine hands. It was about 3 decades ago, back when Bhagwan one day asked our former state presidents, Shri Natarajan sir and Professor E. Mukundan sir, Swami asked, "When is Vishu?" And Bhagwan thyself replied, stating, "Isn't it just day after tomorrow?" Yes, that was the message for all of us to celebrate Vishu in the divine presence. And since then, Vishu celebrations has been offered at the lotus feet. Vishu offering also saw 17 youth camps at the divine lotus feet. From 2003 to 2019, of which I was also privileged to be part of. And this morning, the youth report of the Sai Young Messengers of the Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organizations Kerala was offered at the lotus feet by our Kerala State Youth Coordinator. On this holy Vishu day, let us all pray to Bhagwan that we put into practice the 8 divine words: love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. Let us put into practice the 5 values that Swami has given us: Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema and Ahimsa. Let us put into practice the 9-point code of conduct that Bhagwan has told us to enable us to become noble and able instruments in his divine mission, and by transforming ourselves to transform the world. We love you, Swami. Our first speaker for this evening is Shri K.R. Jyotilal IAS, who is currently the Principal Secretary, Transport, General Administration, Revenue for Devaswam, INPRD and Taxes Department, Government of Kerala, and the Vice Chairman of Kerala Metropolitan Transport Authority. Shri Jyotilal Sir has earlier been the Collector of Thiruvananthapuram and Kannur districts in Kerala and has held portfolios in the IT, transport, agriculture, animal husbandry, fisheries, food and civil supplies, tourism, parliamentary affairs, ports, aviation, and excise, to name a few. Sir has been instrumental in projects related to the high-tech agriculture, smart city at Cochin, the metro rail, the Kannur airport, the e-mobility, and the hydrogen economy. Jyotilal Sir is a B.Tech from IIT Madras with an MBA from ICFI. Shri Jyotilal Sir is an ardent devotee of Swami who has been blessed with more than 10 interviews in the Divine Presence. And Sir personally tells that it has been Swami's guidance and Swami's presence and Swami's blessings has been the guiding light and reason for Sir's transformation. I would like to welcome Jyotilal Sir to this evening's function at the offering at the Lotus Feet. Our second speaker for today is Dr. G. Shankar, Chairman, Habitat Technology Group, the largest non-profit initiative in sustainable architecture in Asia, with international presence. Dr. Shankar is also a consultant to the UN and World Bank and a visiting faculty to a number of foreign universities. Dr. Shankar is a Padma Shri awardee in 2011, a winner of 14 national awards. The last and the latest national award to the Habitat Group was for the Sri Satyasai Vastudhara project of the flood victims in Kerala at the Alappuzha district. This was recognized by the Government of India as the best group housing project in India. Dr. G. Shankar is also an ardent devotee of Bhagwan. I would like to first invite our first speaker, Shri Jyotilal Sir. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Sri Sai Ram. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Revered elders, brothers and sisters. In fact, we are very fortunate to celebrate Vishu in the presence of the Lord of the universe. After a gap of 2 years, we should be thankful to Swami for giving an opportunity to celebrate Vishu in his immediate presence. Vishu is a harvest festival, as all of you know. It's also the zodiac new year when the sun changes from the Midhunam Rashi to Medam Rashi. And sun is set at the highest energy level. Generally it is said Medam 10th, that is called Pattam Udayam. That is where when people replant the coconut trees. This is a harvest festival. What are we harvesting? We are harvesting the fruits of our labor, fruits of our acts, our words, our thoughts. Swami always say, you see good, do good, and be good. This is the way to God. see good. The Vishu starts with the first day in every Keralite, I think every house. Vishu day, we are taken first to the puja room where the deity is decorated with flowers. Kanikonna, it's a yellow flower. And fruits and vegetables, especially cucumber. And then gold. And there is a Panchaloha, Urali, that is called bowl. It's a bowl made of Panchaloha. I think each of it has got a significance. The yellow color, the flower as well as the gold represents yellow auspiciousness, Shri, so that there is bountifulness and plentiness in our life. Then the bowl, which is made of Panchalohas, because Prapancham is 5 elements. Bhagavan is the control of all the 5 elements. So the Panchaloha bowl represents the 5 elements. And the gold also represents the auspiciousness. Cucumber, as it was said, Trayambagam yajamahe sugandhim pushti vardhanam urvarugam bandhana mrityo mukshiyam amridad. Attachment to the God is a real detachment. You should be like a cucumber so that we when we leave the body, we should be able to leave it, without much difficulty. So we should be like urvarugam or cucumber. And there is a mirror called Val Kannadi. Basically, you see God. You see God in the Val Kannadi, in the mirror. So you are God. Swami says, I am God, you are also God. But you don't know that you are God, I know that I am God. So seeing God in everyone, that is a message which the mirror or the Val Kannadi gives us. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that the body is the Kshetra and we are the Kshetrajna. To realize that self-realization or self-actualization, to know that you are God, that's a transformation which is required. And the mind is the one, probably the obstacle. We have to use the mind to cross the samsara by keeping the lotus feet of the Lord in our mind. We reap the harvest festival, we are reaping the harvest of our own fruits, our own thoughts, our own words, our own deeds. Because from a thought, word, deed, act, habit, character, destiny. So the destiny of individual or a nation depends on what people think. It's on what you think. So thoughts have to be pure. I will just narrate one Swami is closer than all our thoughts. He knows inside out of every one of us. So once I was in one of the Vishu day, I was sitting there in the veranda. Swami came. Naturally, that day there was a VIP, or the Minister of State for Union Affairs. Virendra Umar sir was there. I think 2 speakers were called for the speech. I was thinking that being a Vishu, sometimes if Swami asks us to speak, we should be prepared. At least some points should be kept in mind. So I was mentally prepared in case Swami calls, what to talk. No one knows. So Swami came next day. That day speech was over, everything went off well. Next day Swami came in the veranda. Then he asked probably, sir, sorry sir, in fact Chakravarti sir is here. Sir, I was sitting by the side of Chakravarti sir. Swami asked, "Nee avanikku sollile? Didn't you tell what I said?" I just kept quiet. I thought I wanted to, basically I was testing what I thought in my mind is the same which Swami told. Then Swami asked that and then went for darshan and all. Then after that, at the end, I went to Chakravarti sir and asked, what did Swami say? So what I thought in my mind, Swami told inside. Then I thought we generally, Kerala, we are very much worried about our rights, fundamental rights. We go up to Supreme Court to fight for our fundamental rights. So there is no fundamental right to think what you like. You can think, your pure thoughts is okay. So whatever you think is also what is Swami is able to tell. Swami tells inside or others that means you have no fundamental right to think. You have only fundamental duty to do seva, service. So that is our fundamental duty. No right comes without a duty. So that is the greatest message which I got. That means he is closer than our thoughts. Our thought should be pure. Then words. Words are also, generally we like everybody to praise you. But whenever somebody criticizes, we feel that it is not correct. But I think criticisms are the greatest thing which helps you to correct yourself. If there's a mistake, we need a mirror to rectify our own maybe hairstyle. So that means if there is a mistake in you, somebody else points out, that is the best time for you to correct yourself. So it should be welcome. Suppose the criticism is negative or with a malintention, then Swami used to say, it is like criticisms are like registered letters. Registered letter, if you don't accept, it goes back to the person who has sent, and he himself, he has to, not only he will be reading the same thing back, and he has to spend his own time, money, energy, everything for sending the letter. So either way you invite, so never worry about criticisms. Do what is good. That is what second Swami's message. Think what is good, do what is good, see what is good. Then acts. There also no need to react. Swami says, difficulties you should invite difficulties. Say difficulties, when you comes, you say, it is good for me, because you don't know. The Divine Master who has crafted the divine story in which we are all actors, he knows what is good for you. He will never do anything which is bad for you. You will realize it after some time that whatever has happened, though it was bad that time, it was good for you. Several instances are there. Due to paucity of time, I think I would not like to go into that. I still remember the day when first I came. It is this is a silver jubilee year for me, maybe seeing Swami physically. So I came when I was sub-collector in Palghat. SDM, I came along with the Sevadals. I came and I didn't book any accommodation. I stayed just opposite to this Ganesh gate. There was a lodge. I think even now it is there. So there I stayed. Next day, I think in the public queue along with the Sevadals, I got, I think, third row. I was sitting the third row in that last corner. So Swami came and stared at me and went. So I said in my mind, two things. Swami comes to give you whatever you desire, so that you will one day ask for what he has come to give us. So I thought in my mind, two things. One is, anyway, I am not elaborating that. Two things I said, I will believe that you are God, provided two things should happen. One is my marriage should get settled at the earliest. Because I was in Orissa cadre, I came to Kerala cadre, but it's a temporary, we don't know whether it will be permanent. Second, that's a short-term goal or desire I had. Second, that's a long-term goal, which is slightly difficult. That is, second one is, my cadre should get permanently changed. It is something which President of India or the Honorable Prime Minister only will be able to sign. Nobody else can do it in the country. And it's very rare. So second one may take some more time. Fortunately, I think both the marriage got settled on the way back. Not even before reaching Palghat, it got settled. So then I thought sometimes coincidence, probability in mathematics, you will say probability is there, so sometimes it may happen. But second thing also happened, it took some more time because it is a lot of things. I think that will take at least one day to explain all the nuances. How Swami had planned everything much in advance. So he is the biggest master planner. We prepare master plan, but Swami is the divine master who prepares your master plan for life. He prepares much in ahead of us. So he knows what is good for us. So then slowly I got promotion, or what do you say? I was allowed to sit in the veranda slowly. I used to sit here in the veranda. Then every time I thought, we are nearer to God means, near means never enlightened, always repeating mistakes. Sometimes foreigners are far near ones. They think always about God. Then we were not, every time you can give letter and you can talk. Then I thought we were also not valuing that much. One day I wrote a letter to give to Swami. Swami is not accepting. He will accept from everyone except me. Then I thought there is something wrong with my letter. What I will do, and you can't write there, so many, because all are sitting beside, others will also think why this guy is writing so many letters. I thought what I will do, I will cut down everything what is written. Only one line I will add, Swami, I surrender unto you. I just cut the entire thing, only one line, because there is not enough space in that letter. I surrender everything unto you. Swami immediately came and took that letter and went. That means he has come to give you, make you desireless, so that you leave everything to God. I will conclude with one yesterday, in fact, one more experience, and I will conclude. Yesterday there was a Pavai verses, I think. I liked two of the Pavai things. One is it's a continuation. The avatars are continuation. And they are there every time. In fact, 2 weeks back, one of our seniors, he is like in bureaucracy, the cabinet secretary is the topmost bureaucrat in the entire country. Here is one officer who was fortunate by Swami's grace to be the cabinet secretary of the country for 2 successive terms, and almost 4 years he was cabinet secretary of Government of India and the topmost post in Indian bureaucracy. So he called, he is very unassuming. Whenever Swami he had come here and he had gone to Delhi also when Swami came there, but he never used to show his any powers. So he came with his family. So he used to ask about what is happening, everything about Parthi. Then he called me and said, see, I have got a very strange experience. So he had gone with his family to Shirdi. So one old person was standing in the queue. He was just blocking. Then he told that person, please, we want to go for darshan. Okay, then he allowed. He kept on standing there. He is not going inside. Then both the K.M. Chandrasekhar sir is his name. So sir and madam went inside. He kept on staring at them, and then he blessed both of them, smiled, blessed, and he just went out. He didn't go for darshan. Then he said, it is a very strange thing happened. Then he told like that. I said to Swami, it is Swami only. It is Shirdi Baba who would have come in that form. Then he was very happy. Then it was a Thursday. Then he started listening to, every Thursday he listens to the Shirdi Baba's bhajans. He has already downloaded it. Every Thursday he listens. So he put that and he was listening. After 10 minutes again he called me back. Jyoti, one more thing happened. So I was listening to Shirdi Baba bhajans. Suddenly the bhajans, this is downloaded from YouTube and he has been using it for years. He said, suddenly the Shirdi Baba bhajans changed into Satya Sai bhajans. He said, Baba, Shirdi and Parthi, yesterday I think Pavai versus this was told, I think. So it is actually happened. This was only 2 weeks back. And one more thing which was said is, all the 5 elements we have polluted. Even our mind we have polluted. So Swami himself told in one of the discourses that we have polluted our hand pollution, mind pollution, all the 5 elements pollution is there. And then he say harmful radiation from the sun are likely to come, and then so many things were told, but we never realized the significance. Well, actually the COVID, all these things are only after effects. The outer side of ring of sun is called corona. We don't know what is the relation, but what is the solution to the pollution of the mind? It is said that solution to pollution is the dilution, because you need to transform the individuals. What is the dilution? With the Sai's love, with the divine love. And every Vishu we give, the elders give to the younger ones, Vishu Kainitam, the gift. Let us all pray that Bhagavan bless us with his divine love as a Vishu Kainitam, so that we will be transformed into better human beings, better individuals. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. My humble pranams to thee at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Shri Sai Baba. A few years back, 10 years back, I had the huge privilege of coming to the same holy premises and greet fellow Malayalis and start the celebration of Vishu. When I am here again to greet you on this occasion, I remember the introductory remarks that I made at that particular function. If I remember that, it was in 2012. I described Bhagavan's divine presence in 3 words: the omnipotent, the omniscient, and the omnipresent. I still remember those words because all these 3 words together has personally led me to a voyage, to a journey of discovery, where through his writing and his words, he has stressed the importance of karma in your journey forward. And let me reiterate those words. That has actually led me, that discovery has led me, Bhagavan's words have led me to amazing vistas. Amazing vistas in the sense of self-discovery and things like that. Since this is Vishu, for a minute, let me revert back to Malayalam for a few seconds. We have been going through stressful times, and one thing that we have realized is that the only way to peace, the only way to happiness is through Bhagavan, through his words and deeds that have illuminated all our lives. That is the only way to salvation. And one thing that we have realized in the last 2 years is spirituality is the only way out. Having said that, മലയാളികൾക്ക്, എൻ്റെ കൂടെയിരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ മലയാളികൾക്കും ഞാൻ സന്തോഷം എന്ന് പറയുന്നില്ല, സമാധാനം നിറഞ്ഞ, നിറങ്ങളുള്ള, നന്മയുള്ള, നിറച്ചൈശ്വര്യം കിട്ടുന്ന ഒരു വർഷം, പുതുവർഷം നിങ്ങൾക്കെല്ലാവർക്കും ആശംസിക്കട്ടെ. നന്മയിടാവട്ടെ. ഭഗവാന്റെ കൃപാ കടാക്ഷം നിങ്ങളുടെ മേൽ ചൊരിയട്ടെ. ആ ഒരു സന്തോഷത്തിൽ, സമാധാനത്തിൽ നമ്മുടെ ഭാവി ജീവിതം നമുക്ക് കരുപിടിപ്പിക്കാം. After I said these words in 2011 about the omnipresent, omniscient and omnipotent, I told you about a journey that happened. I've been working in disaster resilience area for the last 30 years. I personally don't think anybody else has got such experience working in the disaster areas across the world. In 2013, Uttarakhand floods happened. I was actually bedridden at that time. I had some medical issues and I was very disappointed. I was very distressed because Uttarakhand was beckoning me and I couldn't go there. Suddenly a telephone call comes. One of the leading functionaries of the organization, complete stranger to me. This call actually came after that person made a call to one of the foremost film makers of Kerala. That's the only contact that person had in Kerala. That person, it seems that Bhagavan appeared to her in her dreams. And Bhagavan had instructed that person to look out for one Mr. Shankara. Shankara was completely unknown to her. She didn't know who this Shankara is. And the only thing probably the only indicator was that that person is from Kerala. She didn't know that I was an architect. She didn't know that I was involved in disaster mitigation activities and things like that. This person, the filmmaker said, there's only one Shankar that I know, and that is the Shankar who works in the disaster mitigation areas. So the call came, and I had the opportunity to go to Uttarakhand to probably pilot the rehabilitation activities there. The Chief Minister was there, and one day suddenly, first time to Uttarakhand for that matter, next day after I reached, I was taken to a press brief by the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. Vijay Beguna was the Chief Minister at the time. He suddenly introduced me as the person who is going to rebuild Uttarakhand, and he left the scene. I was in front of the media, was all around. The world media was all around. I was there looking at them. Suddenly the BBC correspondent asked me, what is your one-liner strategy to rehabilitate people in Uttarakhand? One-liner strategy? I pray to Bhagavan. I pray to Bhagavan to give an answer. One-liner strategy to rehabilitate, rebuild lives in Uttarakhand. Bhagavan, through his darshan, told me, and I repeated those words. Uttarakhand is a holy land. Uttarakhand is a holy land, and you have to tread on it softly. And then the questions began to appear. What do you mean by treading on Uttarakhand softly? I said, look at the Himalayan geological profile. Soil is soft. You have to build responsibly. That is the answer. So, Bhagavan has led me to amazing vistas and amazing journeys throughout my life. 2018, floods happened in Kerala. So many lives were lost. And we were in distress. Bhagavan's benevolence came there also to rehabilitate people of Kerala in a very meaningful way. We were assigned the job to rebuild a portion of Kuttanad River Basin, as we call it. Ambalappuzha is a small town, small hamlet near Alappuzha. And we were asked to rehabilitate 59 families. 59 families. I put a template, Bhagavan's template, into that strategy. Bhagavan always talks about Satya, Dharma, Prema. How could that be integrated into an architectural design form? That is exactly what I did, and that is how the blessings have come. The blessings in the form of the best housing project, group housing project award given by Government of Kerala for this particular Sri Satya Sai Vastu Thara housing project. What we do? We put people in the center. We filled it with love, prema. We build it responsibly. I don't want to go into strategies and things like that. We build it responsibly. And that is what is meant by dharma and satya. We always have a template. That is what Bhagavan has always taught us. Value-based architecture. Architecture based on truthfulness and honesty. When I go back to these places, when I go back to these houses, I see a lot of light and a lot of spirituality in those homes. We are all building houses to have not only a safe abode, where you can have a domain of peace and happiness. That is what Bhagavan has taught me all my lifetime, and we will continue to. We are actually reiterating those words, where Madhava Seva is actually Manava Seva. Let him continue to lead me. Let him continue to lead our movement. And that's the only prayer that I want to make in front of me. Thank you for the opportunity. Happy Vishu to all. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. We thank both the erudite speakers for bringing out the significance of Vishu and sharing their experiences and inspirations gathered over the years in association with our beloved Lord. Now, on the occasion of Vishu, we'll be offering a devotional music program at Bhagwan's Divine Lotus Feet, which will be led by Shri T.S. Radhakrishnan, a musician, bhajan singer, composer of some very well-known Malayalam devotional songs. Shri T.S. Radhakrishnan has traveled across the globe, spreading the awareness and glory of Namasmarana. 4 decades back, Shri Radhakrishnan formed a devotional troupe, Tyaga Brahmam, and has conducted Bhakti Gana Tarangini in almost all the temples in and outside Kerala, Middle East, and African countries over the years. Shri Radhakrishnan has composed several bhajans on our beloved Bhagwan, and since 1982, he has been blessed to sing in the immediate divine presence of our beloved Lord almost all the years. This evening, on vocals and harmonium, he will be accompanied by his son, Shri Shankar Vinayak, who is an alumnus of Shri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. Shri Shankar Vinayak is also a Bal Vikas alumnus and is currently pursuing his career in music. On Mridangam, we have Shri Navneet Krishnan, a Bal Vikas alumnus who is currently learning Mridangam from his guru, Shri Kalle Kulangara Unni Krishnan. On tabla, we have Shri Madhu VM, a Bal Vikas alumnus. Shri Madhu is currently learning tabla from his guru, Shri Arjun Kali Prasad from Pune. Please welcome Shri T.S. Radhakrishnan and his team of fellow musicians. Sai Ram.
जय जय राम कृष्ण हरे जय जय राम कृष्ण हरे
जय जय राम कृष्ण हरि, 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 राम कृष्ण हरि
पांडुरंग हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि
पांडुरंग हरि,
पांडुरंग हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि,
पांडुरंग हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि,
पांडुरंग हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि,
पांडुरंग हरि,
पांडुरंग हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि,
पांडुरंग हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि, पांडुरंग हरि, राम कृष्ण हरि,
पांडुरंग हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि, पांडुरंग हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि, पांडुरंग हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि,
पांडुरंग हरि,
राम कृष्ण हरि, पांडुरंग हरि, राम कृष्ण हरि,
पांडुरंग हरि, राम कृष्ण हरि,
पांडुरंग हरि, जय जय राम कृष्ण हरि।
गजाननं भूतगणाधिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बुफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजम्। जय जय स्वामिन् जय 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 स्वामिन् जय 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 जितवैरि वर्गप्रचण्ड जय जय जितवैरि वर्गप्रचण्ड जय जय गजमुख जय वक्रतुण्ड
जय जय
गजमुख जय वक्रतुण्ड जय जय स्वामिन् जय 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 स्वामिन् जय जय। दोषरहित दुरितासुरवृन्द मूषिकवाहन मुनिगणवन्द्या दोषरहित दुरितासुरवृन्द शेषभूषण शैव वारिधि चन्द्र पोषित परिजन पुण्यैककन्द शेषभूषण शैव वारिधि चन्द्र पोषित परिजन पुण्यैककन्द जय जय स्वामिन् जय 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 स्वामिन् जय जय शक्रादिसुरगण सन्नुत चरणा शातकुम्भमणि दिव्याभरणा शक्रादिसुरगण सन्नुत चरणा शातकुम्भमणि दिव्याभरणा धिकृत घन विघ्नतिमिरापहरणा धिकृत घन विघ्नतिमिरापहरणा धीर नारायण तीर्थ सुकरुणा धिकृत घन विघ्नतिमिरापहरणा धीर नारायण तीर्थ सुकरुणा जय जय स्वामिन् जय 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 स्वामिन् जय 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 जितवैरि वर्ग प्रचण्ड जय जय जितवैरि वर्ग प्रचण्ड जय जय गजमुख जय वक्रतुण्ड जय जय स्वामिन् जय 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 स्वामिन् जय 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 स्वामिन् जय जय आ आ
सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते साई नारायणी नमोस्तुते साई नारायणी नमोस्तुते साई ताये तुणै साई ताये तुणை புட்டபர்த்தியில் வாழும் வேதநாயகி சாயி தாயே துணை புட்டபர்த்தியில் வாழும் வேதநாயகி சாயி தாயே துணை தேவர்கள் புகழும் அம்மா.
தேவாதி தேவர்கள் புகழும் அம்மா.
தேவாதி தேவர்கள் புகழும் அம்மா.
தேவாதி தேவர்கள் புகழும் அம்மா.
சித்தம் கவர் புவன சுந்தரி.
தேவாதி தேவர்கள் புகழும் அம்மா.
சித்தம் கவர் புவன சுந்தரி.
என் சாயி தாயே துணை. புட்டபர்த்தியில் வாழும் வேத நாயகி சாயி தாயே துணை.
மனிதன் மதம் மாதவனென்றழுமியன் மாயையை போக்கிய பர்த்தீஸ்வரி.
மனிதன் மனம் மாதவனென்றருளிய மாயை போக்கிடும் பர்த்தீஸ்வரி.
கலைகள் எனக்கருள்வாய் கௌரி மனோகரி.
கலைகள் எனக்கருள்வாய் கௌரி மனோகரி.
கலைகள் எனக்கருள்வாய் கௌரி மனோகரி.
கலைகள் எனக்கருள்வாய் கௌரி மனோகரி.
ஆமுதம் எனக்கருள்வாய் சாயி வாணி.
கலைகள் எனக்கருள்வாய் கௌரி மனோகரி. ஆமூலம் எனக்கருள்வாய் சாயி வாணி. என் சாயி தாயே துணை. புட்டபர்த்தியில் வாழும் வேத நாயகி சாயி தாயே துணை. என் சாயி தாயே துணை. என் சாயி தாயே துணை. सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं ऋतं भरे वसुन्धरे मे परम भाग्यवती ऋतं भरे वसुन्धरे मे परम भाग्यवती अनाथरे साई सनाथराकुं अभयवरद शुभ समयमिते ऋतं भरे वसुन्धरे मे परम भाग्यवती निरुपमं साम सुन्दर मे साई सुरभिलनामावतारम् निरुपमं साम सुन्दर ने साई सुरभिलनामावतारम् नित्य നിത്യഹരിത വൃന്ദാവന ഭൂവിതിൽ മാനവ സേവാ നിറവ് ജീവകാരുണ്യ ജാഗര നിലവ് സൂര്യ തേജോമയമാം പൊലിവ് അനാഥരേ സായി സനാഥരാക്കും അഭയവരദ ശുഭ സമയമീരേ ഋതം ഭരേ വസുന്ധരേ നീ പരമഭാഗ്യവതി കരുണതൻ കാന്ത വിസ്മയമേ സായി കദന വിഭഞ്ജന സാരം കരുണതൻ കാന്ത വിസ്മയമേ സായി കദന വിഭഞ്ജന സാരം സാധുജന ഹൃദയ സന്താപ വിനാശക സായി കൃപാലോ ശരണം അപ്രമേയാത്മ നിർവൃതി കരമേ ആർദ്രരാഗോദയ മാമഹിമേ അനാഥരേ സായി സനാഥരാക്കും അഭയവരദ ശുഭ സമയമീരേ ഋതൻ ഭരേ വസുന്ധരേ നീ പരമഭാഗ്യവതി അനാഥരേ സായി സനാഥരാക്കും അഭയവരദ ശുഭ സമയമീരേ ഋതം ഭരേ വസുന്ധരേ നീ പരമഭാഗ്യവതി സത്യം ശിവം സുന്ദരം
അണ്ടകടാകത്തിൽ എവിടെയിരുന്നാലും ശ്രീ സായി തൻ തിരുനടയിലെത്തും. അണ്ടകടാകത്തിൽ എവിടെയിരുന്നാലും ശ്രീ സായി തൻ തിരുനടയിലെത്തും. ശ്രീപർത്തിയേശന്റെ നാമമഹിമയാൽ ശ്രീപർത്തിയേശന്റെ നാമമഹിമയാൽ ഗാനപുഷ്പാഞ്ജലി നടത്തും സായി. ഗാനപുഷ്പാഞ്ജലി നടത്തും. അണ്ടകടാകത്തിൽ എവിടെയിരുന്നാലും ശ്രീ
സായി തൻ തിരുനടയിലെത്തും. അമ്മയും അച്ഛനും ഗുരുവും ദൈവവും എല്ലാം എനിക്കെന്റെ സ്വാമി. അമ്മയും അച്ഛനും ഗുരുവും ദൈവവും എല്ലാം എനിക്കെന്റെ സ്വാമി. അവിടുത്തെ ദർശനം നേടുവാനായി ഞാൻ, അവിടുത്തെ ദർശനം നേടുവാനായി ഞാൻ നിത്യവും നാമം ജപിക്കും. സായി തൃപാദ പദ്മം നമിക്കും. അണ്ടകടാകത്തിൽ എവിടെയിരുന്നാലും ശ്രീ സായി തൻ തിരുനടയിലെത്തും. വേദമന്ത്രങ്ങളാൽ മുഖരിതമാകും സായി തൻ ക്ഷേത്രമി ഭൂമി. വേദമന്ത്രങ്ങളാൽ മുഖരിതമാകും സായി തൻ ക്ഷേത്രമി ഭൂമി. സത്യവും ധർമ്മവും ശാന്തിയും പ്രേമവും, സത്യവും ധർമ്മവും ശാന്തിയും പ്രേമവും ഭക്തർക്കു നൽകുന്ന ഭൂമി. സായി ഭക്തരെ സ്നേഹിക്കും ഭൂമി. അണ്ടകടാകത്തിൽ എവിടെയിരുന്നാലും ശ്രീ സായി തൻ തിരുനടയിലെത്തും. ശ്രീപതീശന്റെ നാമമഹിമയാൽ ഗാനപുഷ്പാഞ്ജലി നടത്തും. സായി ഗാനപുഷ്പാഞ്ജലി നടത്തും. അണ്ടകടാകത്തിൽ എവിടെയിരുന്നാലും ശ്രീ സായി തൻ തിരുനടയിലെത്തും. नमः शिवाय शान्ताय शुद्धाय परमात्मने सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. आदिगुरु श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. नमः. शिव शिव भव भव चरणं मम भवतु सदा तव स्मरणं. शिव शिव भव भव शरणं मम भवतु सदा तव स्मरणं. गंगा
सर्वलोकनीढा
कैलासाचल वासा शम्भो शिवकर पुरहरदासा
कैलासाचलवासा शम्भो
शिवकर पुरहरदासा
शिव शिव भव भव शरणं मम भवतु सदा तव स्मरणम्
भस्मोधूलित देगा शम्भो परम पुरुष वृषवाहा
भस्मोधूलित देहा शम्भो परम पुरुष वृषवाहा
पञ्चानन फणिभूषा शम्भो परम पुरुष मुनिवेशा
पञ्चानन फणिभूषा शम्भो
परम पुरुष मुनिवेशा
शिव शिव भव भव शरणं मम भवतु सदा तव स्मरणम्
आनंद नटन विनोदा शंभो आनंद करुणित केदा
आनंद नटन विनोदा शम्भो आनंद तरुलित केदा
परमानंद नटन विनोदा शंभो आनंद करुणित केदा
परमानंद नटन विनोदा शम्भो आनंद तरुलित केदा
नवव्याकरण स्वभावा शंभो नारायण तीर्थ देवा
नवव्याकरण स्वभावा शम्भो नारायण तीर्थ देवा
शिव शिव भव भव शरणं मम भवतु सदा तव स्मरणम् शिव शिव भव भव शरणं मम भवतु सदा तव स्मरणम् मम भवतु सदा तव स्मरणं 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 शम्भो महादेवा हे पतीश्वरा हे साईनाथ महादेवा शंभो हे सद्गुरो आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज भक्ताचिया काजा पावत से आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज पावत से महासंकटी निर्वाणी पावत से महासंकटी निर्वाणी राम नाम वाणी राम नाम वाणी राम नाम वाणी उच्चारिता आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज उच्चारिता राम होय पापक्षय उच्चारिता राम होय पापक्षय उच्चारिता राम 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 उच्चारिता राम होय पापक्षय उच्चारिता राम होय पापक्षय पुण्याचा निश्चय पुण्याचा निश्चय पुण्यभूमी आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज काही केल्या तुझे मन पालटेन काही केल्या तुझे मन पालटेन मन पालटेन काही केल्या तुझे मन पालटेन काही केल्या तुझे मन पालटेन दास म्हणे जन सावधान आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज भक्ताचिया काजा पावत से आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज आरंभी वंदीन अयोध्येचराज ഒരു നേരമെങ്കിലും കാണാതെ വയ്യന്റെ ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ നിൻ ദിവ്യരൂപം. ഒരു നേരമെങ്കിലും കാണാതെ വയ്യന്റെ ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ നിൻ ദിവ്യരൂപം. ഒരു മാത്രയെങ്കിലും കേൾക്കാതെ വയ്യ നിൻ ഒരു മാത്രയെങ്കിലും കേൾക്കാതെ വയ്യ നിൻ മുരളി പൊഴിക്കുന്ന ഗാനാലാപം. മുരളി പൊഴിക്കുന്ന ഗാനാലാപം. ഒരു നേരമെങ്കിലും കാണാതെ വയ്യന്റെ ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ നിൻ ദിവ്യരൂപം. ഹരിനാമകീർത്തനം ഉണരും പുലരിയിൽ തിരുവാകചാർത്തു ഞാൻ ഓർത്തുപോകും. ഹരിനാമകീർത്തനം ഉണരും പുലരിയിൽ തിരുവാകചാർത്തു ഞാൻ ഓർത്തുപോകും. ഒരു പീലിയെങ്ങാനും കാണുമ്പുഴവിടുത്തേ ഒരു പീലിയെങ്ങാനും കാണുമ്പുഴവിടുത്തേ തിരുമുടി കൺമുന്നിൽ മിന്നിമായും. തിരുമുടി കൺമുന്നിൽ മിന്നിമായും. ഒരു നേരമെങ്കിലും കാണാതെ വയ്യന്റെ ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ നിൻ ദിവ്യരൂപം. അകതാരിലാക്കുവാൻ എത്തിടും ഓർമ്മകൾ അവതരിപ്പിക്കുന്നു കൃഷ്ണനാട്ടം. അകതാരിലാക്കുവാൻ എത്തിടും ഓർമ്മകൾ അവതരിപ്പിക്കുന്നു കൃഷ്ണനാട്ടം. അടിയന്റെ മുന്നിലുണ്ടെപ്പോഴും മായാതെ അടിയന്റെ മുന്നിലുണ്ടെപ്പോഴും മായാതെ അവതാര കൃഷ്ണ നിൻ കള്ളനോട്ടം. അവതാര കൃഷ്ണ നിൻ കള്ളനോട്ടം. ഒരു നേരമെങ്കിലും കാണാതെ വയ്യന്റെ ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ നിൻ ദിവ്യരൂപം. ഒരു മാത്രയെങ്കിലും കേൾക്കാതെ വയ്യ നിൻ മുരളി പൊഴിക്കുന്ന ഗാനാലാപം. മുരളി പൊഴിക്കുന്ന ഗാനാലാപം. ഒരു നേരമെങ്കിലും കാണാതെ വയ്യന്റെ ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ നിൻ ദിവ്യരൂപം. വിവരേ രാമരസം പിബരേ രാമരസം ശ്രീരാമരസം പിബരേ पिबरे रामरसं पिबरे रामरसं रसने पिबरे रामरसं पिबरे रामरसं रसने पिबरे रामरसं पिबरे रामरसं जनन मरण भय शोक विदूरं जनन मरण भय शोक विदूरं सकल शास्त्र निगमागम सारं जनन मरण भय शोक विदूरं सकल शास्त्र निगमागम सारं पिबरे रामरसं रसने पिबरे रामरसं पिबरे रामरसं शुद्ध परमगं आश्रमगीतं शुद्ध परमहंस आश्रमगीतं शुकशौनकं कौशिकमुखपीतं शुद्ध परमहंस आश्रमगीतं शुकशौनकं कौशिकमुखपीतं पिबरे रामरसं रसने पिबरे रामरसं पिबरे रामरसं 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 चिन्मयरूपा सत्यनाथा जगत्पालका सद्गुरुनाथा நீயே நாதா ஏவர்க்கும் நீயே சாந்தி சின்மயா நின் திருநாமங்கள் வாழ்த்தான் ഭൂവിൽ വന്നു ഭവിച്ചു ഞാൻ നിന്നെ വണങ്ങാൻ വന്നു ആശ്രയമില്ല. നീ തന്ന ദാനം ഈ ജന്മം സായിനാഥ. നിൻ തിരുവടിയിൽ അർപ്പിച്ചേൻ ഞാൻ നിനക്കായി കാണിക്ക അർപ്പിച്ചേൻ ഞാൻ സ്വാമി. നീയേ സർവം ഈ പാരിൽ സ്വാമി. നീയേ ശക്തി പാരിൽ സ്വാമി. നീയേ സർവം സായിനാഥ സത്യനാഥ സായിനാഥ. സദ്ഗുരോ സായിനാഥ. രാമ 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 രാമ.
शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया. शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया. शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया. गजानना सदया. जय जय गजानना सदया. जय जय गजानना सदया. गजानना सदया. वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा. वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा. वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा. वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा. प्रणवाकारा नादा सदया. प्रणवाकारा नादा सदया. प्रणवाकारा नादा सदया. प्रणवाकारा नादा सदया. गजानना सदया. जय जय गजानना सदया. जय जय गजानना सदया. गजानना सदया. शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया. शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया. गजानना सदया. गजानना सदया. वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा. वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा. प्रणवाकारा नादा सदया. प्रणवाकारा नादा सदया. गजानना सदया. जय जय गजानना सदया. जय जय गजानना सदया. गजानना सदया. शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया.
गोपाल गोपाल नाचो गोपाला.
गोपाल गोपाल नाचो गोपाला.
गोपाल गोपाल नाचो
शङ्कर नमामि शङ्कर शिव शङ्कर शम्भो हे शिव शङ्कर नमामि शङ्कर शिव शङ्कर शम्भो हे शिव शङ्कर नमामि शङ्कर शिव शङ्कर शम्भो हे शिव शङ्कर नमामि शङ्कर शिव शङ्कर शम्भो हे गिरिजापति भवानि शङ्कर हे गिरिजापति भवानि शङ्कर गिरिजापति भवानि शङ्कर शिव शङ्कर शम्भो 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 साई शिव शङ्कर शम्भो साई शिव शङ्कर शम्भो हे शिव शङ्कर नमामि शङ्कर शिव शङ्कर शम्भो हे शिव शङ्कर नमामि शङ्कर शिव शङ्कर शम्भो हे गिरिजापति भवानि शङ्कर गिरिजापति भवानि शङ्कर शिव शङ्कर शम्भो 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 साई शिव शङ्कर शम्भो साई शिव शङ्कर शम्भो हे शिव शङ्कर नमामि शङ्कर शिव शङ्कर शम्भो
रघुपते श्री रामचन्द्र राघवा दयानिधे रघुपते श्री रामचन्द्र राघवा दयानिधे रघुपते श्री रामचन्द्र राघवा दयानिधे
रघुपते श्री रामचन्द्र राघवा दयानिधे
पशुपते श्री पार्वतीशा शङ्करा सदा शिवा
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 माधवा श्री राधिकेशा गोविन्दा हरे कृष्णा
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 रघुपते श्री रामचन्द्र राघवा दयानिधे
रघुपते श्री रामचन्द्र राघवा दयानिधे
पशुपते श्री पार्वतीशा शङ्करा सदा शिवा
पशुपते श्री पार्वतीशा शङ्करा सदा शिवा
माधवा श्री राधिकेशा गोविन्दा हरे कृष्णा
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 रघुपते श्री रामचन्द्र राघवा दयानिधे
ॐ जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वर ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्व प्राणपदे स्वामी सर्व प्राणपदे आश्रित कल्पलतीका आश्रित कल्पलतीका आगत बांधवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता गुरुदेव मरियंतयुनीवे स्वामी मरियंतयुनीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राश्रया ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अंतको मंगल आरती अंतको मंगल गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति शांति शांति
जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
जय
ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। 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 ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ